Come paint with me today. Let's have some fun. Let's get going. I'm starting off with some random marks using a crayon pencil and then a regular pencil. The marks I'm making aren't pre-planned. They're just wherever my hand goes. I'm in the mood to make kind of circular marks right now, so I'm going with it. This is just for fun and to get into a creative mood. Next up is some red paint applied with a palette knife. Again, no plan here, just wherever I feel the urge to move the palette knife. Then I used some light pink with a medium-sized silicone color shaper. I really love the mark this tool makes, and you'll see that I use this tool quite a lot. I'm starting to cover up some of the whiteness of the page, but overlapping a bit and letting some of the colors mix together. I mixed some of the red with white to make a lighter peachy color and used a large paintbrush to apply it in some of the empty areas and also on top of some of the previous colors. I'm trying to use a variety of shapes and sizes of marks, some light colors, some darks, to keep the painting interesting and balanced. I used this comb shape tool to make some messy lines in black. It didn't work very well, but I still like it. I think the fact that the marks kind of stop and start looks nice. I don't want my painting to look too orderly and tidy. I want to keep adding contrast, and because I put those small, thin black marks, next I'm using black again, but with some thicker, bolder marks. I'm also making some of the marks go off the side of the page, which I like the look of once the masking tape comes off the sides. I'm still using black, using a long, thin brush. I'm holding it loosely so that the brush isn't easy to control. The lines are more random and free this way, just the way I like. I added in some patches of an off-white for a different kind of contrast and to break up some of the patches of red. Then also used some more light pink to fill in some areas. I used a smaller color shaper with some more red, letting the red and the off-white mix together a bit, and letting some of the lower layers show through. I'm just playing around and experimenting until I get something that's pleasing to my eye and feels right. I really like the color shaper tool. It gives a variety of different marks depending on how you hold it and how much pressure you put with your hands. If you haven't tried this tool, I highly recommend it. I got this one from Amazon. I seem to be drawn to the curvy shapes today. It used to bother me that I always seemed to make curvy lines and circles. But then I realized that this just must be part of my style. Something draws me to these shapes, so I stopped fighting my intuition and embraced it. My paintings are an expression of myself, so why not be real and express who I really am? But my curvy lines aren't the neat and tidy, precise type of line. They're messy and imperfect, just like me. I used the long, thin brush again to make some loose, circular shapes in light pink. I'm echoing similar shapes and lines from earlier, but in different colors and a slightly different way. From far away, you can't really see those light pink lines, but when you get up close, those lines add some texture and make the painting more interesting. I smooth out some of the pink with the color shaper to cover up more of the white. I want some white to show, but not too much. I'm moving around the painting with mixes of the earlier colors, adding touches here and there. I really only used 2 main colors in this piece, plus some neutrals. But because I'm mixing the colors together, I get some light and dark shades. I also know that the colors will be harmonious because I'm not adding too many different colors. Back to the palette knife again here, adding in some thick white paint for contrast and more white in thin, messy lines. See how in the several places where I used white, that the shapes I made are all different shapes and sizes. I don't like everything to be samey, so if I make a big bold mark in one place, then I'll make a small or thin mark elsewhere in the same color. Some people might like things to be more similar, but that's not my style. What I enjoy seeing is variety and contrast or differences. Because I did what was pleasing for me, there's a part of me in it. I was able to express myself and forget about everything else for a while, which is a great feeling and something that centers me. Sometimes I'm so busy and stressed about things in life, so any chance I get to be creative and get into the zone, I try to make the time to do it. This piece was a lot of fun to make, and I'm happy with how it looks. Nothing was planned. I chose a couple of colors that I was in the mood for, then just freely and intuitively put paint down. I think that's the best kind of creativity, the kind where I can play and experiment and be free. The kind of painting where there's no pressure to make something beautiful or do it for anyone except for myself. One of the best and most satisfying parts is taking the masking tape off at the end. I think having the crisp white border around the edge is such a nice contrast to the random messiness inside the borders, and I really like the look. For a finishing touch, after the painting dried, I added some neon pink in a few areas. One big, bolder swatch, then a couple of smaller marks. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please consider liking the video and subscribing. And if you have a suggestion for future videos, leave me a comment. See you next time.